My name is Abigail Pacheco. I was raised in Chandler, Arizona, and I've been doing art exclusively and more diligently since 2019. I've always been creative, but I think just going into the business of art and just really focusing on what it is that I want to express, I think has been since 2019. So my stiletto the inspiration is really regal, regality. I was really inspired by Versailles Palace and the opulence of the golds and the emeralds. And so when I really honed in on the design of my shoe, I wanted to create that, hence the emerald color and hence the gold opulence. But there's also corazones or hearts in my stiletto because that's the essence of women. Like, we are the heart of our homes, families, of our communities. But then there are words, like Chingona, jefa, chula, diosa, mujer, that are incorporated in my stiletto that I hope are empowering. I hope that in my design, or the hope in my design is that, again, when people see it and then they see the delicacy of the roses, women, we are very much beautiful, empowering, strong, delicate creatures. And I wanted my stiletto to invoke that. I wanted to invoke all those things for women. And for men to know and to see my stiletto, I hope that men can see that and appreciate women, get to honor them a little bit more and just see their beauty in all aspects. Hence why the words are at every angle of the stiletto, because we're all encompassing. So I really wanted that to be the reason for my design. Music really helps me hone in on what it is that I want to say. So I listen to a lot of new artists that I've been kind of experiencing, and that's the design of my shoe, is just women being empowered. I want the feeling of them feeling like when they set foot on the floor, I want the world to shake. As women, we have that power, and that's how I wanted people to feel. And that's how I want to feel when I look at it. My art really expresses my culture. I live and breathe my culture, and I give huge thanks to my mother for that, and being able to express myself. I always tell people I live unapologetically in Spanish. I feel in Spanish. I love in Spanish. I want my culture to be shown to the world and to just people to experience how beautiful it is. And I think that resonates with Chingona Souls because it's a perfect opportunity for women and artists alike, any artist, to feel seen, to feel empowered, to feel like the art that we do impacts our community. The real beautiful thing about Chingona Souls and my culture is that we want to be seen for all the beautiful things that we are. I hope that when people see my art that they feel empowered. My stiletto really has a wording that I feel is very recognizable to women, I want women to look at those words and feel empowered. That's the real emotion. I want them to feel chingonas. I want them to feel like, I wish I could put this shoe on and wear it so the world could see that this is how I feel. Transformation is it can be a very scary term. Change is a constant. So we can't hide from it. But transforming, really elevating, is unique to everybody, right? When we were given that topic for the stiletto show, but also just thinking about it, transformation, it should be embraced. It shouldn't be something that we fear. And so I feel like for me, it has given me the opportunity to grow. 2019 Abby would have been very scared, I can't, how dare you believe in me? But today Abby is like, thanks for believing me, because I have been able to transform and my art has been able to grow and change. I'm excited for what that means for Taurus and for Chingona Souls especially, that we're going to be able to see people transform at this event. There are a lot of very new artists this year, and so it's going to be amazing to see how they continue to transform their art. I think Chingona Souls impacts our community, the Phoenix community, in a way that, like I said, it's just, we want to feel empowered. We want to feel like we're seen, and it really does give the ability for artists to showcase their art, and also us being able to give back through our art. We want to be able to support organizations that are important, that are doing and making changes and, impacting our communities through their civil, or nonprofit, endeavors. And if our art is able to do that, then that's amazing. And so I think that maybe Chingona Souls will impact beyond just Phoenix. That would be the goal, is for it to be all of Arizona and then all of America. And, you just have ambitions for it to be bigger because you believe in it. Last year was my first year as a Chingona artist. And I really struggled to decide if I wanted to do it and if I was worthy enough. I wasn't, I'm not a professional artist, and applying for it was like a scary endeavor for me. And something in me said, just do it. And so I applied and I did it, and I got to show my art to the public for the first time. When I walked into that space, I felt seen. My mom felt seen. My sister felt seen. And they were playing our music, and our culture was everywhere. And it didn't feel like they didn't belong or we didn't belong. And so from that feeling, when I applied this year, I wanted to feel the same feeling. But the beautiful thing about this year is that I get to help plan the event. I get to help create that experience for someone else, for a new artist or for veteran artists that have been doing this for years. And I get to be creative in other ways, not just through my stiletto, but through the planning of it and working with the Chingona Souls team and Taurus Multicultural and Luna Culture Lab as a team to really bring a show that is going to impact everyone in attendance and everyone who gets to see it virtually. So I really see my involvement in Chingona Souls continuing. I hope to continue to be an artist because I really do love the feeling of giving back to my community. I'm a strong believer that I have to give back to the community that gave me so much. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my community in Chandler or my community in Phoenix where I grew up. So if I could give back or continue to give back and through my art, I would love to do that and continue to do that. And I think Chingona Souls gives me that opportunity. Art really started for me as a healing journey. It really was therapeutic. And it started off as a healing journey for myself, like inner work for me. Then it was the challenge of believing in myself that I could do this far beyond just my home, far beyond just my room. And it was really my family, my brothers, my sister-in-laws, my mother that encouraged me, my best friends that encouraged me to go out and do art. And so how I overcame the adversity of not believing in myself was to host paint parties for my friends and families at first. And that became strangers coming to my events. That became having an art showcase in December for the first time. And it just grew into being contacted by the city of Chandler to do an art piece for Cesar Chavez. I feel like just believing in myself, the adversity of thinking that your art isn't saying or doing much, but then taking a step back and realizing it is saying something to someone, and someone does believe it when they see it, and really believing in myself. That's my biggest fear. That gives me the biggest anxiety. But when I overcome that, it makes it all worth it. It makes it all worth it to see people touch the art, experience the art, talk about it, and I pride myself in that. And that's the emotion that I want to continue to evoke in my art. My art will continue to inspire me, and I'm going to face other challenges, I know for sure, but Chingona Souls has given me the opportunity to meet amazing artists that have taken me in. And so overcoming those challenges isn't so difficult because I know I have support. Through my art, I really focus on my culture because that's what I know. I really know my culture, or I'm learning more of my culture. I've had the beautiful privilege of being around friends and family and people that accept me for who I am. And sometimes I find myself to be the only Hispanic person in the room sometimes, but I never feel like I'm the only Mexican in the room. I always feel a part of my family, my friends, and I've been blessed that people appreciate that. That gives me the ability to be able to share my culture with other cultures and create a sense of understanding. Through that, I'm also able to learn from other cultures in hopes that maybe the things that they teach me or the values they teach me are things that I could in the future incorporate in my art. But I am very aware and I am very proud that my art currently is about my culture. It's about my people, it's about my experience, it's about learning to be American and Mexican, and it's about learning to be proud of that without in any way, shape, or form taking from other cultures and respecting them as well. I do hope that in the future, as I learn more about other artists and their cultures, that they'll slowly, I'm sure, incorporate into how I do my art or experience my art. I mean, fashion is art. You know, fashion, the way that when we wake up and choose what we want to wear is a representation of who we are. And sometimes there are those of us that choose to wear our culture, you know, and that's beautiful. And people get to experience our culture through our fashion. The stilettos work in that sense as well, because although most of them are not able to be, you know, wearable art, they give the sense that they can be. And that possibility is important, right, for women in culture and art, that this art goes far beyond just a piece that you will collect. It can inspire a designer to create wearable art people can wear with their stilettos, or vice versa. And clothes are one of the very first things people see when we interact with other people. And so to incorporate that in Chingona Souls, to incorporate fashion is important to us, or I believe to the organization, because we understand that it speaks to people just as much as art on the walls. It is a more tangible form of art, and therefore we feel like we can experience it a lot more than if it was just an object that we place on our walls. And I think that's important. Being part of the Chingona Souls community to me means familia, it means family. I feel at home here. I feel like I'm seen here. I feel like I'm impacting here. I feel like my mother is seen here. That's really important for me, that my family is included in my art journey, because they have been there from the very first canvas that I've purchased to the very first paint and sip party I planned. They've attended practically every paint party I have had. And so Chingona Souls, I hope that I can continue to grow and continue to feel like my art is saying something. I had the pleasure of meeting Tanya for Chingona Souls last year initially. And then this year being able to work closely with her, the fact that I get to see her being in her Chingona essence. That woman is so amazing. The way she thinks, the way she executes, the way she embodies being a Chingona Latina in business. 15 years is an amazing feat for a woman-owned business. And for it to impact the community the way it does, it really speaks to the essence of Chingona Souls, Taurus multicultural, Luna culture. Like, she really is it. Her capacity to inspire, her ability to inspire, her capacity to harness people's power and people's talents, I feel like is the reason why we're going to be celebrating 15 years of Taurus multicultural, and in 15 more years, and then, you know, a legacy. She's leaving behind a legacy, and for women, and for Latina women, for Latino owners, for everybody really that's wanting to start a business and continue to grow their business. So my wish for Tanya and Taurus multicultural is more quinceañeras to come, more artists, more culture, more involvement, more community. And I know it's gonna happen because she is a tenacious Chingona, and she does not give up. And I know she wants that for her community. Shout out Ice Cube if you see this. If this video doesn't get posted, send it to me. Ice Cube, I just love you. And you should just love me back, because why not? No, but I would like to shout out, in all seriousness, I would like to shout out my mom. My mom believes in me 100%. I would like to shout out my brother Sam and Henio for begrudgingly attending my paint classes and painting and being my best friends and supporters. My sister, my best friends, Deandra, Taekwon, and Candace. I would not be here if it wasn't for my tribe, my people. So I'm just thankful for the community, for leaders that have believed in me. And so shout out to y'all for believing in me.